Why is Steins so cringe is something you'd most often hear from, you're probably thinking, people who don't like Steins. So why then do I see this every other week on the Steins Reddit? Not weird normie Reddit, not your favorite random hentai Reddit. Ooh, Butcher the Rock, that's a good one. No, literally the biggest science adventure circle jerk on the internet thinks Steins is cringe. And what bothers me most about this, besides the part where I actually meant to using Reddit, is this is something you'd only think if you watched it and didn't get it. And yet they all seem to just be in consensus that it's cringe and you just kind of have to put up with it. Guys, have you watched like any of my videos? Yes, it's cringe, but, and this is gonna absolutely blow your mind, that's exactly why it isn't cringe, because that's literally the point. It's ironic. When Okabe walks into the Ferris Cup, he goes, because this isn't normal, this is fucking weird. You're not supposed to be on board with any of this. It is cringe. Why do you think Mr. Brown treats Okabe like an idiot? Okabe de wa nai. Why do you think when Daru or Okabe say basically anything, every other character looks at them and tells them to shut the fuck up? Why do you think Kurisu tries to hide the fact that she uses @channel? Because it's cringe. She's cringe. She knows it. They know it. We know it. But that's okay. It's okay to be a little cringe because that's just who they are. That's kind of, you know, the whole fucking point. They're weeaboos. Moeka literally kills herself because she's so cringe. I mean, I already made an entire video on how these characters are all autistic as shit. These are not normal, socially competent individuals. These are weeaboos going around doing cringy things. So then why, pray tell, you're probably asking, would we like them if they're all cringy weeaboos? Because, asshole, they don't at any point trying to pretend like they aren't a bunch of cringy weeaboos. Well, Kurisu kind of does, but that's different. They're real. They're people. They're not randomly overpowered twinks with fox girls riding up and down their cocks that just happen to have rolled a perfect luck stat. No, these are people. They're cringy because this is what real people are actually like. But according to Reddit, oh no, only people who understand otaku culture will get this anime. Bitch, where the hell do you think we all learned about otaku culture in the first place? It was Steins. Do you think it's a funny coincidence that the visual novel has an entire goddamn glossary of every little bit of slang and every obscure anime reference every single character makes? No, it's because it doesn't expect you to know this shit. Only a fucking weeaboo would. You're supposed to be aware that this is some cringy shit. And here's the thing, basically the entire Steins Reddit is just on board with this even though it doesn't make any sense. Why? Being cringe is exactly what makes it not cringe. Cringe only happens when you aren't aware of how you're perceived by others, and as a story, it's definitely aware of how people are supposed to interpret it. How? Why? Because the only people that would take this seriously are the people that you wouldn't take seriously. Who's that? Well, let's see. There's this.
それはエロゲの攻略本だろ。いいじゃん。腕組んでおっぱい肘に当ててんのよ状態とかエロすぎっしょ。ちくしょう。リア充のバカ。
Is the problem that it just hits a little too close to home. Steins fans are all a bunch of cringy fucking weeaboos, and I am their king. Okay, so, you know when Okabe asked her Ferris Nyanyan's real name and Daru goes, I can't hear you, la 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 la. This is not someone you're supposed to take seriously. This is a cringy weeaboo. Not that you're not supposed to like the characters, you are, but you're supposed to be able to laugh at them as if they were your friends. We all know people like this, unless you don't, in which case, well, I don't want to be the one to have to break this to you, but I guess we're all a little bit closer to solving the problem now, aren't we? Let's take a closer look at the other characters. characters. Fetus is cringe because it's a defense mechanism. She knows it's cringe. She does it so people can never take her seriously. Again, not being taken seriously is literally the point. Kurisu knows it's cringe and hides it from people she isn't intimate with. Well, she's bad at hiding it, but that's the only part that's actually cringe. And Okabe would be cringe if he wasn't so alpha. But here's the thing about being cool. Yes, the King of Weeaboos is teaching you how to be cool, because of course I am. How else do you think I got this title? You can't just start calling yourself this. Nothing you do is cringe. It's not the hentai, but the person that makes the cringe. Okay, wait, let's try an example that's not a person so the weebiest among us can keep up. The Pokemon theme should be super cringe. I mean, Jesus, listen to it. I can't play it here, but listen to it and come back. The lyrics are cringe as shit, and it's played like something that would literally only appeal to 10-year-olds. But here's the fucking thing. It goes so hard that it actually goes beyond cringe and circles back around to being cool. Why? Because it owns it. It knows it's cringe, so it owns it, and because of that, transcends into cool. And it's the same with people. As long as you never apologize for being yourself, your actual self, not who you think you are, or worse, who you think other people think you are, you will never be cringe. The reason Okabe is so cool, the reason everyone is drawn to him, despite being so fucking cringe, is because he owns it. He never once apologizes for being cringe. He knows it's cringe, but he doesn't give a shit because he knows it's also fucking cool, and he's not gonna apologize for liking cool shit, even if, or maybe even especially if, it's cringe. Look at Daru. Daru is actually cringe, but here's the difference between Okabe and Daru. Kind of like Okabe, he owns it so hard that you can't help but kind of respect him, but not entirely, because of shit like this.
オカリン、そちらのエロい、セクシーな3次元の女性はどなたでありますか？よろしく桐生。3次元に希望を持っていた時期が僕にもありました。
So, while he's got some cool, it's the moments he lacks self-awareness that keep him from being truly cool like Okabe. What I want you to take away here is that cringe is only for cringy people. If you're someone that looks at something and goes, cringe, grown adults watching cartoons, that's cringe. That's cringe. And not only that, if you're the kind of person that gives these people the time of day, also cringe. Not because Chinese cartoons are or are not cringe, but because you've just shown that you care about what other people think about something extremely trivial and irrelevant. In other words, both sides of this are either a complete lack of self-awareness or self-confidence, or both. In other words, you might consider the difference between cringe and cool self-awareness. Awareness of who you are and the ability to live up to your own self-determined expectations. That is cool. Okabe is cool. Think about why I get to be king of weeaboos and you don't. You ever watch Bunny Girl Senpai? Because this is literally what that anime is about. The reason Sakura is able to get the world's hottest babe is because he knows exactly who he is and what he wants in life. And she gets that, and so she recognizes that he's able to help her find herself and what she wants too, and he does. Yes, watching Bunny Girl Senpai will literally make you cooler. That is a sentence that just came out of my mouth. Again, I am the king of weeaboos. By the way, I may make a full review of this anime, but in the meantime, see my time travel tier list. People avoid Sakura, but he doesn't give a shit because anyone that would isn't someone he'd want as a friend. As a result, he has 2 friends, and to him, that's all he needs. And it's the same with every other character because he helps each and every one of them learn to be themselves. In other words, he helps them all learn to be cool. So, back to Steins Gate. Steins Gate knows it's cringe, and that's the entire fucking point. Okabe knows he's cringe, and that's the entire point. Steins Gate is my favorite anime, not in spite of it being cringe, but in part because it's cringe. Because I get that that's the point. What about you? So, if for some reason you still don't get it, you should watch, and I'd say this completely unironically, the K-pop reality TV show 16 with JYP, because that's what it's about. If you just said, what the fuck? Okay, that I didn't expect to come out of your mouth. 1, again, I'm the king of weeaboos. 2, subscribe for my next video where I tell you how Madoka Magica is literally just this show. What the hell? Yeah, I know, I'm awesome, right? Anyway, as always, thank you so much for your time, friends, and I will see you in the next video.